morning. It's Tuesday, April 4th, and today I want to talk about two different things. And these things are diametrically opposed on the scale of what's important to us. But they're both very important items and they need to be discussed. As I was driving around yesterday, I noticed that the oil prices went up. Now, I don't pay attention to that because all of you know that I have a hybrid plug-in car, and most of the time I'm driving on electricity. So I've only been to the gas station one time this year, and I only went 3 times the whole of last year. But I noticed that the oil prices have surged in the last couple of days. And I'm wondering why they surged, because they were down nicely. They were under $3. And now I notice they're at $3.75 a gallon. And why the surge all of a sudden? Well, the real reason the surge is because OPEC, the OPEC producers, said they would cut production in a surprise move. Members of the country, of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Company, OPEC, that's OPEC, they monitor the market and they decide collectively to raise or lower the production in order to maintain stable prices and supply. That's a bullshit story. It's all about maintaining a level of profit. It's not supply and demand. There's no real supply and demand in oil. Everybody needs it. People drive all over the world. So on Sunday, Saudi Arabia announced that it would start a voluntary reduction of the production of its crude oil. And other members agreed with them. The countries that are slashing production include Russia, Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Algeria, and Oman. And the collective output cut by these countries totals about 1.6 million barrels a day. And that could mean inflation will remain higher for longer. And I say that we are in terrible shape when we have to depend on these countries for oil. We have to do something about getting ourselves away from OPEC. Or at least maybe become a member of OPEC and have something to say about whether or not they're going to raise the prices. But it's only business. It's business. And that's what they're doing. They are doing business the way they see fit. And that means raising the prices whenever their profit margins get smaller. So that's the first thing I wanted to say this morning. The next thing I want to talk about is the situation in this country that borders on insanity. I declare it insane because we are doing something that is going to raise the cost of education in this country to astronomical height. And I am talking about something that they are calling the school security industry. It's all the school safety programs that are going to be put into place around this country. And you know why this is happening. This is happening because we refuse to face up to the gun violence that's going on in this country. We have a government that is split, rent asunder, as they say, over the bearing of arms. We can't get together and ban assault rifles. No, instead of banning assault rifles, we are creating school safety programs that will increase the costs of education dramatically. And it has already started to increase the cost of schooling in this country. So in recent years, many schools have seen an increase in active shooter drills, safety lockdowns, and fortified buildings and doors. And let's not forget the hiring of guards. When we have a dumb Republican standing up and saying we should pass a law that it's mandatory that each school in this country have at least 2 armed guards. The next thing you'll know is that let's have the children carry their own guns to school. Let the teachers be armed. Why should we only have 2 guards in the building when we could have everybody in the building armed? Is this a form of insanity? Yes, it's absolutely a form of insanity. Right now, the cost of education is rising without the dumb things that I'm talking about, because they are putting high-level surveillance systems and weapon scanners in schools. And then they're walking around with handheld devices that immediately alert law enforcement. Is this the way we want to educate our children? Bring them up in the value of fear? Whatever happened with the good old times, where everything was happy? You went to school, you had a good day, you learned something, you went out in the yard and you played. Do you think these crazy people will think it's safe to send children out for recess in an open schoolyard, unprotected, from villains that could be lurking around the school premises? And the federal government refuses to put any restrictions on arms. They call for these stupid guards, a minimum of 2 guards. And this is a Republican stance. This is not a stance with all members of Congress standing together. This is a Republican stance. Many Democrats are urging members to push forward action on gun control. This is the single most important issue to deal with these days. And it's simple. It's a simple solution that could save us billions of dollars. Ban assault rifles. Do not allow them to be sold. Right? Keep them manufactured and kept under key for our armed forces, not for civilians. There should be a limit on the amount of ammunition that a gun can shoot at any one time. We have to do something instead of these stupid prevention methods. Congress has to recognize the fact that guns in this country are evil. There are too many high-powered weapons out on the street, and we as a nation are going to pay for it in many ways beside the loss of lives. The cost of education is going to skyrocket. And because of the skyrocketing cost of education, we will be a dumber country. And how many people are going to decide they're not going to be a teacher because it's a dangerous job? And I leave you with that this morning. The danger associated with our schools and our firearms has to be brought under control. And the only people who can do that are the members of Congress who are shitting in their pants because they are afraid to upset the gun lovers in this country. And I leave you with that this morning. An ugly situation. Have a great day. Bye.